Yo, 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 what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Sweet and Spicy. We have your boy, Dr. Legend. We've got Miss Space Girl, aka Chloe,
Hi guys.
and our wonderful, wonderful guest today, one and only Mr. Griff from Griffplays.
Hello, everybody.
So, how's everyone doing today? Happy Mother's Day to all the U.S. People out there, to their moms. I know it's different in the U.K. It was last month, but
Yeah.
today it is Mother's Day in the U.S. So, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, to all your mothers out there. No, I'm not trying to joke about it. I'm not trying to let you know, but happy Mother's Day if you're a mother.
You're not trying to jump on their
Yeah,
milfs.
yeah, and the
Trump
single
on
fathers
that
out
bill.
there that have to play both roles, because there are single fathers that have to do both roles. So,
Love that.
Yeah. To every parent.
yeah, a lot going on recently, huh?
Yeah.
So, our last podcast last week, we have had a lot go on since last week. There was a
lot.
little bit of a. We'll bring it up. Mr. Griff already started a little podcast about it this past week. Some things going on in the 5M world, GTA RP world,
Yeah.
and then if you guys don't know, we have a new Redline member that joined yesterday, which we didn't know was gonna happen, but Miss Space Girl is now officially a Redline member. So
Yeah.
congratulations, Chloe. Seems like you decided to make the
Thanks.
jump, huh?
Yeah, well, you and Elite between you bullied me into it, so.
Listen, I just sent the links. You asked. I
Mm,
told you it wasn't a question. It wasn't a request. It was here's the links. Fill it out now.
yeah.
So, yeah, it's okay. Okay, so maybe we'll see Miss Chloe in her Redline
I
here
mean, I
soon
don't
in the
actually ever
videos.
have to open the game, do I? I've just now got the member tag on Discord.
There you go. Now you can see all the gossip on Discord.
You see who's sat in when Elite says he's working and he's sat in an ML. I'll be like,
Yeah, why you
I
lying, huh?
see you.
That was the plan all along. She just wanted to get into the
Yeah.
membership so she could see if you actually were in members MLs and
Yeah, see what he's actually recorded.
What
yeah.
stalker.
Well, awesome. Griff. Today's
Hello.
guest. This has been a long time coming. We've been working on this. Thankfully, we were able to come up with a date and get you on here. Welcome.
I'm expecting
so.
some no holdbacks from you today.
Oh,
I try not to. I mean, I'm pretty open about it. You should have seen that the stream chat on Friday was pretty ridiculous. I'm pretty open with stuff. Like as soon as people ask things, I'm more than happy to answer them. I've just realised that my own for some reason I can't get my own stream going, so I'm just gonna whack this link in my chat a bunch of times and then just cancel my stuff. Yeah, I don't know too many MBank things or Streamlabs or I don't know, but it doesn't. Anyway, this is more important. So I've just spammed it in my own chat. So there we go. I'm here now.
Thank you.
So
let's do it.
Where's someone moaning that you look too small? You're too far away from your camera. they want a close up of your face.
How's that? Is that better?
There we go. Is that better, everybody?
Hello. I might as well pull your chat open now as well. Let's go.
There we go.
Oh wow, I'm backwards on your screen. This is very weird,
isn't it?
It
always feels weird, but when you see it, you're like looking at it when you're looking at yourself and you're not the one
Griff's
streaming.
gonna like spontaneously combust in a minute.
Yeah, I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to look at it. I full screen my own screen because I can't look at it. It's weird. Anyway, let's crack on.
So, how's things been, Griff? What's new with you?
Loads, man. I can't complain too much. Who's young Keanu Reeves? That's not me, surely. Please tell me that's not me. Not a lot, man. Just doing the daily content stuff every single day. And it's like I can't complain too much because it's fun and like a lot of people dream to do it. But it's a lot of work, man. I didn't realize how much work it'd be. You stream a whole bunch of time, then you got to record, then you got to stream, then you got to edit, and then do all the social stuff, and then start again. I'm starting like at 7:10, 7:30 in the morning, and then I'm streaming Redline till like 12:01 a.m. So it's long days, but it's a lot of fun, man. I'd much rather be doing long days of things that I enjoy than like literally half the time at like doing things I don't necessarily enjoy. So
yeah, no, definitely. It's a full-time job essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Well, more than.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, hours wise for sure. Like I've done plenty of full-time like normal jobs, and this is much. I wouldn't say harder. It's just much it puts a lot more strain on your like social life, and not that any gamers have a proper social life, because we just all chill in discords and play video games and never leave our mum's basements and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it puts a lot of strain on that and the family time and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool.
Sweet, sweet. So we had a lot of questions come in this whole week, both
Mhm.
yours Discords as well as ours. So we'll get kind of into it. Usually we start with the work side of things, the YouTube, and then we kind of spice it up a bit, get a little bit more personal, get to know who Griff is, other than Ricky the Raccoon or, Mr. Seth in the No Pixel. So get to know who the actual Griff is, and then we'll kind of get into what everybody know. I know people have been anxious about what's been going on, in terms of in the RP world. So we'll get to that. But yeah, we'll kick it off right away. We'll just go right into it. We'll start with the YouTube stuff, and obviously the number one question that's always asked for every content creator we have is, when you started your journey as a content creator, what did you feel?
So I think my journey like started a little bit differently. Before we get into this, there's a bunch of you in chat that are in my Discord. Somebody go and get the link to this specific stream and just at everyone 100 times in my Discord for me, because my stream's not going up. So just go
I
and
like
whack
that.
it in my Discord and at everyone for me. Yeah, so I guess my journey started like a while ago, and what it was my girlfriend at the time, who's now my fiance. When we met and thank you, get married in August. It's going to be sick.
Oh, nice.
We were just chilling, and she was on Twitter, of all things, and she showed me a profile, and she had 1,000 followers on Twitter, and I was like, "Yo, that's sick." She's like famous, because I had no idea. But then instantly, like the competitive nature in me was like, I need to beat that. So I started looking into like gaming spaces and stuff. I was heavily into Destiny 2, and I kind of talked my way into one of the bigger clans there. And then all of a sudden just went wild on Twitch and Twitter and stuff. So like mine wasn't a like I want to go and make content or anything. Mine was a I want to beat my girlfriend on Twitter. And this is how I'm going to do it. And then I started to really enjoy like seeing the same faces in chat, and I was pretty good at Destiny. So like I was in there with like the bigger guys, and also, it was a pretty cool start. And I was quite fortunate to be in with that group of people, so that I already had like there was already a big Destiny following on that specific like clan, that community that I was in. So all of those people that like that community came straight to the stream, and I was already had a lot more viewers than normal people would when they first started, which was really nice.
Nice.
And how did your parents and your family kind of react to you wanting to be a content creator?
So I mean, I've always gamed, and like my mum, like when I was at school, I'd be told to get off the consoles and stuff, because you'll never make any money out of gaming. And then it got to the point where in like year, I don't know, 12, 13, whatever it's called now, like A level kind of year, maybe like 17 years old. I was kind of really good at exams, so I could get away with not turning up to lessons. And me and my two best mates would literally just quit, like walk out. We'd turn up to the first bit of school, because if you didn't, you'd get a phone call home to say he hasn't turned up. And then we'd go to that, walk to the local like Sainsbury's and get a sausage sandwich. Go back to my mum's, and she'd make us hot chocolate, and we'd just sit and play like Guitar Hero, Rock Band, Halo. We'd just do that all day.
Yeah.
So she kind of came around to it a little bit. And then, of course, when Booga, or whatever it was, like 16 or something, went to that Fortnite competition and won $1 million or whatever it was, like she was the first. But like as soon as she saw it in the news, she phoned me straight away, and she was like, "Why is this not you?" And I was like, "Mom, this is because you told me not to play video games, like to make money." But then when the whole Facebook thing came around last year, she said, like one of my first calls, like obviously I spoke to Laura, and one of my first calls was obviously to my mom, and she came round, and I explained to her like the whole deal, and like I was completely like shocked. She was just like, "Yeah, like you have to give it a go." So she was super supportive of it from the start, which was cool. So that was nice. And then here I am doing it. So, and she's still super supportive. Like when I finish stream at like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll go straight to hers for a coffee or for some lunch or something. But if ever I'm short of something in the morning, like if heaven forbid I run out of milk first thing in the morning, like and I need anything, like I just drop a WhatsApp, and she's more than happy to help out and stuff. So yeah, she supports everything, as does my dad. To be fair, it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I could only imagine. I mean, having that family background, especially just like you said, it being, and it depends on age. I mean, obviously, society now we didn't have back, like for me at least, growing up, we didn't have YouTube, we didn't have TikTok, we didn't have like making money off of like streaming games. It was either you entered competitions because you were really good and won money that way. Otherwise, there was no other platforms for it. And I mean, kids now, it's like they got they have it made for sure. There's a lot of opportunities out there for people to be able to succeed. And not saying that people in an older age can't do it. It's just I could only imagine like parents like trying to tell a parent, hey, yeah, I know I'm 24, 25 years old now, and I'm gonna quit my job because I'm doing this. It's like at that age, it's like they're like, "Are you kidding me?" Put especially if you got put through college, put through schooling, and they paid a lot of money, and
Yeah.
it's like after all that, you're gonna tell me that 30, 40 grand that I may have wasted on college I didn't even need to spend it. So yeah, I could imagine. It's good to have that support though. Definitely is because a lot of people I
It's one
feel
of those
don't get
though.
it.
Like at the end, like if you are that kid that quits everything and their parents is totally against it, and you actually make a good go of it, and you like the amount of money you can make from video games, and at the minute
Yeah,
is insane. And as soon as you pay off their mortgage or buy them a new house or buy your mum that car she always
all
wanted,
is forgotten.
like all yeah, exactly, like all of that uni money, she's like, yeah, that's fine, man, that's chill, it's all good.
Oh man, that's awesome. So obviously, you're in GTRP now. That's usually
hmm
it's pretty much the main source of. I mean, I know you play other games, but that's pretty
hmm
much the main content that you do provide. So
hmm
what kind of got you into GTRP?
Good question. Probably the numbers XQC was pulling. I've always been one for stats. Like the people that have been around for a long time in stream have followed me from. I went from Twitch to I did a little bit on Mixer, and then I went to a platform called Trovo, which is like a Chinese streaming platform. I did quite well on there. Then I went to YouTube and started. Then I started doing GTA roleplay on YouTube on a server called CMG, which was okay. Then I heard about Redline from a friend, like a group of people that I used to play on CMG, and they were all desperate to get into Redline. So I was like, "Yeah, what's Redline?" I looked into it. I got into it. None of those guys applied and got into it. And actually, in the last week, the one guy that like first introduced me to Redline in that server got into NoPixel. So I was fortunate enough to bump into him, and
Yeah.
we've met in character, and it's pretty cool, man.
Sweet.
So I don't know, man. Like, I've always been one for the stats, and
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed growing on different platforms. And I saw the numbers that XQC and RP was doing, so I thought, yeah, I'll give this a go, see if I like it. And I fully regret not doing it like 12 months sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned about no pixel. What are the main kind of differences you've noticed so far with Redline and no pixel?
Um, so so um so no pixel is just super in depth and super scripted. Like they're two completely different servers. Like obviously Redline's very like menu based and just spawn
Mhm.
stuff in and do whatever you want within the obviously the boundaries of the rules and all that sort of stuff. Whereas no pixel, like no pixel, you can do whatever you want as long as you have the resources to do it. So if you've got AKs and a car that can do like 1,000,000 foot jumps and stuff, and you can land this stuff, you can do it. It's not a problem. Whereas it isn't. It's a different story on Redline. But
Mhm.
they're just two completely different servers. Like No Pixel, although a lot of content is made there because everybody streams it, and there are some like cool videos of boosting and all that sort of stuff. It isn't really a content server; it's a really in-depth RP server. Whereas Redline is more of a like it has the facilities to make like content at the drop of a hat.
Yeah. Okay, so
Fair
quite a
enough.
lot of things different with them then.
Yeah, it's worlds apart. But they both have their kind of good. They're both good in their own different ways, but
Mhm.
they're completely different servers.
Interesting. So I'm assuming you started in Redline first, before you made the move to NoPixel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yeah, I was in Redline
S-
for like 4 or 5 months.
okay. What kind of made you transition to NoPixel, or what was it about NoPixel that kind of attracted you to uh, at least test it out at first and then make the transition into it?
A lot of comments, like in my streams and stuff, were just asking if I'd seen anything about it, and then as I started to get into the GTA stuff and watch more of my own, because like as a content creator, you don't really spend a lot of time consuming content. But as I started to watch more GTA videos, like I'd watch like random RP stuff, and a lot of no pixel stuff was coming up. So I'd watch that, and then obviously I've already mentioned I would watched XQC before that. So fans of that like him, Summit, and a lot of the other the big boys. And as I watched them and watched their videos, their content would surface, and I'd watch more stuff, and I'd be like, "Yo, this is cool, man. I like where this is going." So I just thought I'd give it a go.
Nice.
Interesting.
And obviously, you have put some hours in on Ruby RP as well. What would you say your favourite parts are individually with Ruby, Redline, and NoPixel?
Oh Jesus. Okay. So no pixel's the kind of place that like if the people in chat that watch my stream know that I spend like 8, 9, 10 hours a day in there, because there's always something new to do. There's a whole bunch of jobs you can have. There's always stuff to grind for, money, loans to pay, all that sort of stuff. So it's like really easy to get lost for hours and hours. Whereas it isn't as like anywhere near as easy to do that in the other two servers. So I'd say the ability to burn like tons of time by doing tons of different things for no pixel. For me, Redline's the community. Like I've got a lot of really good friends in Redline, and a lot of people that I can kind of just vibe with, and we can do cool stuff. And I don't have to plan anything either in Redline. Like you can go in, you can like take a peek at who's on, or you can see in the Discord like who's playing Redline and stuff, and that like for example Sassy's huge. Like me and Sassy do some really cool stuff, and as soon as Sassy's in, I can just like tweet or whatever. I mean, Sassy can meet up, and we could just do something completely like ad hoc at the drop of a hat. So I like the community and the those people that I can do that sort of stuff with. That's probably my favorite thing about Redline. Ruby, I've not spent a massive amount of time in Ruby. One thing I did notice about Ruby when I first joined a while ago was how like super smooth the server was. Like if you play GTA, like some servers can be like super laggy or like or have like hitches and stuff. Whereas Ruby, when I first got in there, was really really smooth. So it just felt like a really fresh game. I must admit I've not been on there in like a week or two, so I don't know what it's like now. But that was probably the best thing about Ruby to start with. But they're putting hours, man. They're putting work, lots of dev time and stuff in to do some cool stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah, definitely growing.
Yeah, they're doing well.
Yeah, sweet. So I've done roleplay with you, Griff. We've done some criminal. I think we've done mostly criminal. We haven't done anything crazy in terms of passive. I mean, we did do passive. We did the I think we did the F1 event or the bike event or whatever. So we have done some passive roleplay. We've done some criminal content for Elon Musk. And we haven't done anything obviously extreme in terms of RP. If you had to choose in terms of RP styles, which one is your preferred method of doing, and which one is your preferred method of watching?
What are we talking between like
Passive,
the
crim,
PD?
or extreme? Yeah, or PD. Even if you're doing PD, and all the styles that you do. Obviously, you're in PD. You've done PD. You've done obviously criminal. You've done passive stuff as well. So I mean, I guess what's your favorite RP to really enact or to RP out? And then what's your favorite stuff to watch in terms of watching?
I think to do is definitely the criminal stuff, because I find that there's a lot less red tape around the stuff you can do as a criminal. Whereas with the PD stuff, you've got to be quite careful with how you act and how you talk and stuff. Whereas as a criminal, you can kind of say what you want to people within reason and things. Also, like it's easy to do criminal stuff. As I said before, like there are a ton of people I can see Mac in chat, yourself, Duck, and Sassy and whoever that I can just like bump into a game and say, look, let's go and do something, and it will work. Whereas the extreme stuff's fun, but it has to be the way that the extreme stuff works on Redline. You have to put the ticket in, and you have to kind of like say I've got a video where I did the jump from like down in the river up onto the interstate, and it was a sick video. Like it was really cool. But when you go to say that you want to put this extreme thing in to do this thing, you have to say like how many times you're going to do it, exactly where you're going to do it, and all that sort of stuff. So it's kind of scripted, and like it. Whereas the criminal stuff that you can just do ad hoc can literally end anywhere. So we had that Elon thing the other night that was supposed to end in us getting in the other Tesla and having an escape in that. Right. Unfortunately, there's a doggo. Unfortunately, I ran you over, and then it just led to something different. Whereas if we'd scripted it, you kind of have to do the certain things that you've said you're going to do and you've signed up for, and you can't do any more. So like the extreme stuff's fun, but I'd much rather just have the flexibility of doing the criminal stuff all the time.
Fair enough.
That's a cute dog. Are we going to have a dog off? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, it was just brought to me. I think his dog dad is getting fed up of babysitting.
Hi.
Hey, there he is.
What's going on?
Oh, here's the other dog. What is going on?
They're both. Yeah, that dog has more sponsorships than anybody here, right?
More brand deals, yeah.
Yeah, more brand deals than
doing good, isn't he? I'll take him.
I think he got 3 on his first week.
Yeah, he did.
Give me the dog.
Got 3 brand deals in 2 days.
Let's go.
Did good.
Nice.
Anyway, sorry for the interruption.
All right, I've just ordered my own dog. See if I can get my own dog in here to.
Ordered your dog.
Yeah. I said to Laura, you drop her in, but make sure you don't open the door too much because I know she's in bed. So I don't want the door to be. I might just move this around. Oh shit! Oh, I've just turned my camera off. No.
Oh, no. And there he goes.
Also fuck up.
And here starts the technical difficulties already.
Yeah, right.
There we go. I'm not going to move the cam. She's just going to open the door a little bit. It's fine. Anyway, where were we? Okay, shall I just go and get her to save time?
Yeah. Go get the dog.
All right, bear with me 1 second.
So who do we have in chat? What's going on in chat? I see Johnny, Harjivan,
We've got
Alex,
Lauren's here.
Lady named Lauren.
Who is she?
Johnny, Amar.
Do you want to see my new stickers?
Mac, Knight. Oh, fuck Trump. Nolan. What's up, Nolan? How you doing? Oh, Metal's here. Nick, Roman. Oh, you got a lot of people. Keeb.
Hey. This is my little baby. Her name's Evie, 100% named after a Pokemon.
Yeah, I can see why. Oh, bless her.
Oh, hello, baby. She's so tired. She's just been asleep on the bed, so.
We're trying to keep Milo up because as soon as we're done on here, we've got a 2-hour drive to my parents, and he doesn't travel well. So we're like, tire him out now, so he sleeps the whole time like an actual baby.
Got you.
That's awesome.
No, she's great. She's really good in the car. But let me just throw her back in the other room, back in the cell.
Yeah.
I hope you're all enjoying the dog breaks. We should make like a segment. You can only be a guest
if
you've got a dog.
You use a voice changer for Gramps.
Yeah, he does.
I do. Yeah, it's a natural voice changer. It changes a vocal cord. It just changes like that.
There we go.
It's so weird, like watching that voice come out of your mouth.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, have you just done Gramps on cam?
Yeah, someone asked me.
Yo,
like,
do it again.
I'm like, I do. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Gramps.
Oh, that's crazy.
Doesn't match, does it, at all?
It doesn't match. But here's the funny thing: like people don't know my PD character at all, at all. But when they see Gramps, it's like the whole freaking place goes nuts because it's like everyone knows Gramps, and then when I'll be in a VC and I'll have like when I was at least new when I was going to VCs, and I'd be talking, and people would be like, "Wait, where's Gramps?" Like someone like Jason from Redline used to like come in every time. His whole thing is like, "Oh my god, it's Gramps," and people would be like, "Wait, where's Gramps?" And I'd be talking, and they'd be like, "Wait, you're Gramps? Like, talk again?" Like they don't believe it, and that's the number one question I get asked is, "Do you use a voice changer?" And yeah, I guess technically yes, I use my vocal cords as a voice changer, change that voice. So, but yes.
Anyway, after the interval, the dog interval, which was great.
Yes.
Who is or have been your favourite people to RP with from any server?
From any server,
yeah.
Wow.
Past,
or if you want, go through each one to make it just so you don't have to feel like you're putting people on the spot.
Okay. So I don't know, Pete, if people would really know the No Pixel stuff. I've got 2 boys that are like my day ones on No Pixel, Kenny and Dex, who I do stuff with all the time. They're pretty cool. Yuki's pretty cool. She's a mechanic down at the dealership, the mechanic shop that I work at, Hayes. And then Shano's the guy that kind of introduced me to everyone, which is pretty cool. So he's been pretty cool. He owns Hayes. He owns the Drift School. He got me the job at Dodo. He's hooked me up big time. Redline already mentioned Sassy. Love interacting with Gramps. Nolan obviously. Lemon. You know what? Although I was watching your last podcast earlier on today, and although Mac didn't actually say Ricky, I would say Mac's pretty cool as well.
Oh.
You know
I
why she
know,
didn't say
right?
Ricky though, right? It's because she obviously can't catch you, so that's why she didn't want to mention that. I
Oh
think she
my
already talked enough.
god! Yo, do you guys upload this as an actual edited like video after the fact?
So
Like,
the video will go up, but we edit. There's audio to put on different podcast channel things.
100%.
Can we splice in the clip of me losing Mac in 8 seconds flat from my last stream?
We'll add a clip.
Let's get both points of view as well, because she was raging about it. It was so funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so Mac, and then on Ruby's different though, because like I don't want to I don't want to sound like weird about it, but a lot of the people on Ruby already watch like the Toggle and me kind of level content, so they kind of know who you are.
Mhm.
So although I don't really know too many like names, a lot of the kids in there are nice, and like they will come and talk to Ricky because they probably shouldn't, but they already know who he is. So so that's pretty cool. So I've not had any bad experiences there. So yeah, I just the younger. I think the younger the younger kids on Ruby do get a lot of bad rep, but my experience with them so far has been nothing but positive.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously one of your main characters, well actually your main criminal character in Redline is Ricky the Raccoon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wears a raccoon mask.
Mm-hmm.
So what inspired you for that character? What brought that character about, or what made you create that character?
Not a clue. Honestly, not a clue. So I think there was a point in Redline where I'd have my like Griffin character, who was the OG, who's now the cop, and there was always a rule, or there was a rule change, or there was something I wasn't aware of, where you couldn't have a criminal and a cop character that had the same stuff. So I basically just took the Griffin ped and stuck a raccoon hat on, because I like the way you can put the raccoon helmet on, like the mask on, and if you put a helmet on, it goes really like weird and small, and you can also change the eyes to be yellow, like when you're angry and stuff. So I thought that would be a cool thing to do. So I just stuck that on, and then just used the alliteration and just came up with Ricky, and then that kind of just stuck, and that was it. And then the raccoon mask got banned for a short period of time. So there was in one of Haley T's songs, there was a bit about Ricky being dead and not coming back.
Why is
But then he came back because somebody saw the light somewhere that masks of all descriptions should be allowed, not just balaclavas. So that was pretty cool to get Ricky back.
Nice.
So there's no rhyme or reason. It was just a random, like, I just saw the mask and thought it was cool.
Nice.
Sweet.
And as a creator, what do you find is the best way for fans and subscribers to help assist with your growth?
Oh, like on every platform, the shares are really useful. Like sharing in different places instead of just like in the same Discords and stuff. If people can find different places to share, like on Facebook, I had a really good community of people that would just go and find random pages that were related to something that may just be similar to what I was streaming, and they just share it in all of those places. That was really useful. I think the key for me though is keeping your chat like moving and active, because nobody wants to join a stream where there's no chat going on. So even if the people in chat are like 3 of your regulars and they're just talking between themselves about random stuff, as long as it's open for people to get involved with and that chat's moving, the new people are more likely to talk, and then they're going to talk and hang around, and then your viewer number is going to go up by 1, and then you're going to go up in whatever the algorithm or whatever it is. So just having that active chat and having those like that key like core bunch of people that are always there, that are always talking, is definitely probably the key.
So share and get active in the chat.
Yeah, and like my boys know that even if they're just talking about how their day's been, or like what they're doing tonight, or what they're what they're eating, or just anything, or asking random questions, like go and Google some questions, like I don't know, like something like a never have I ever. I mean, we play. As of Friday, we play. Can I swear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
so
is
so
18 and older.
there we go.
Not
So
too old.
Marius has just said it in chat. So it's like a fuck, marry, kill kind of situation. We had a load of that weird stuff going on Friday, but like it doesn't matter as long as that chat's moving. I'll interact with it and it's cool. So yeah, that's been
That's
key.
funny. We if you watch the Zal podcast, we actually had a fuck, marry, kill edition with Zal.
Oh,
Someone you would
really?
not expect to do it, and you'll be surprised to see who his. I mean,
He's
maybe
got
not,
an
but his all
obsession.
time with Shania Twain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Obsessed everybody, no matter who you said.
What?
Shania
he
Twain.
killed everyone.
Yeah.
No
for
way.
Shania Twain. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely check that out if you guys haven't seen that. Good old Zal, someone you would not expect to play.
And we did Would You Rather with Lauren as well. They were kind of pretty much just different sex positions and shit, really, wasn't it? And it was like, would you rather have an orgasm when you put your shoes on or when you brush your teeth? There was some weird ones in there.
Yeah.
I got tons of shoes, so I'd just be taking them on off and all that, just be rotating them all
Trying all
day.
different shoes on.
Yeah, literally. I don't really like this pair today. Let's stick another 5 pairs on. What? Anyway.
Or have really clean teeth.
Yeah,
that's another good point, actually. Yeah.
No, there you go. Sweet. Awesome. Well, that's the YouTube content side of it, in terms of what people have asked on that. And now we're going to kind of get into the nitty gritty and kind of learn who the character behind the computer is, or the real character is. The terms that we're not supposed to use in RP. The OOC stuff.
The OOC stuff.
The OOC stuff.
Yeah. That's cool.
So you obviously made a move to become a full-time content creator. Was the transition a smooth transition, would you say? Have you had regrets? Did you have a phase where you thought, okay, maybe you're regretting it, and then, basically the roller coaster, as we call it, of emotions, and basically, like, how's that transition been for you?
I mean, the decision was easy, as I said earlier. We went through it, went through all of the pay and all of that stuff. It was a no-brainer to give it a shot, and mom, parents completely backed it. Laura's completely behind it, and obviously, like it's no secret that Facebook went through a load of a really bad time at the end of last year, and then at the start of this year, they started looking at like culling literally thousands of creators, and pretty much everybody I know that's got a contract has had it either removed or has had it like cut in half or worse. So when I when that happened, you kind of like, oh shit, like I've gone all in on this, and it wasn't so much like a regret instantly, because I'd always have wondered, like, if I hadn't have taken it and hadn't have actually gone for it, like I think my like 13-year-old self would hate me for it. So it would have been more of a regret if I hadn't have gone for it, because I've got outside of gaming and stuff, I've got skills, I can go and do stuff. So it's not so much a worry. But I think when the Facebook stuff hit, that was rough. But then, like, I started as soon as I was kind of released from that contract, or that part of the Facebook contract, 'cause I'm still a Facebook partner, but I've moved on to do video stuff. As soon as I was released from that, I was really nervous about my first YouTube stream, because like my YouTube numbers used to be really good, and to be fair, I was earning like a decent amount of money from YouTube before the move to Facebook. So I was really nervous about that one. But then my first YouTube stream came back, and like the numbers were like really, really, really strong. So that kind of gave me like a lot of like positive like vibes from that stream. I was like, yeah, actually, you know what, if before the whole Facebook thing happened, if I was putting part-time effort into YouTube and I was earning like X amount of money, if I go and put full-time effort into doing the videos and doing the TikToks and doing the live streams like as a full-time thing, then I'm in theory multiplying the effort by like maybe like 4 or 5 times. So the money will surely not 4 or 5x, but it will, I won't have to worry about losing the Facebook contract, like the Facebook live stream contract so much. So it's been up and down. Like obviously, when you get the first email like from Facebook, it was like a once I realized it wasn't like a scam, like it was a super high. And then when I started I was told when I started to put a pinned comment that says like make sure you like and subscribe, as you would anywhere on any social media platform. But apparently Facebook don't like you telling somebody to do that. So my page for the first 2 months of my contract was shadow banned. It was banned under engagement bait apparently. So Facebook wouldn't put me anywhere, and the only viewers I was getting were from my Discord or from like word of mouth kind of thing. So that was pretty tough. So like from that, the high of like going full time to the low of like the viewers just weren't going up. Then my video stuff started doing quite well. Like my impressions on Facebook were in the like several million, which was pretty wild. And TikTok started to pick up, so then I'm back up again. Like that was a pretty cool high. And then they killed the contract, and that was really low. And then the
Yeah.
first YouTube stream was really high. And then it was at a point where like I'm kind of like shit, I'm gonna have to start looking at something more like more permanent because I was worried about the viewers, and now everything's starting to go back up. Even my Twitch is like increasing, like as I stream every day on NoPixel, like throughout the UK kind of day, and that's picking up. And I'm starting to get in with some cool people on there. So there's room for more growth with the help from with some really cool people there. So it's back on the high again. But the way Facebook pay, I'm still owed a lot of money from them. So I've still got kind of a buffer, and I've still got a couple of months to see what I can make work. So right now I'm kind of in the middle bit. And maybe in a month or two, it will either be like a massive high where I'm like really doing it full time, or I'll be go back to part time and then doing like content part time and like a real job, and that'll be a real low. So we'll see what happens.
Well, hopefully it just keeps going up and up for you.
Yeah.
I hope so.
And with how had changing your jobs, has that affected your relationship at all?
I mean, my old job, I was literally working away 4 days a week, 200 miles from home, staying in a hotel every night, commuting like 4 hours to get there, multiple trains, crossing London, going south of London. I was never here. So obviously, since the pandemic and stuff, I was working from home more. I was working from home all the time, and having this opportunity has allowed me to work from home every day. And it's been cool because we got Evie like 8 months ago and 7 months ago. So I've been here pretty much every day for her, and I've watched her grow up and get big and been around for her all the time, which has been nice. So she's not been on her own. So like I think, and as I mentioned earlier, I get to see like my parents all the time as well. My little sister's just had a baby as well, so I get to see her and the little baby all the time.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man. But I wouldn't have had like any of that stuff had I still been there. So taking the content stuff, it has improved pretty much everything from that perspective.
And more time freedom.
In a way, like it's more like I get an hour. Like when I finish stream, I can like go out for an hour, but then I'm back and I'm recording or editing or something. But that hour that I go and spend with the family and have a coffee with them and stuff, I wouldn't have had that if I was in London. So I still have much less time, but I'm local to home. Whereas like I'd work 8 hours a day and then spend the rest of the time just sat in a hotel or something in London. So although I'm working more hours now, like a lot more hours, I get more time. Like I get more ad hoc time to go and spend with the family, which is good.
Very nice.
So obviously, as you said, we're looking at a couple months. You said as terms of kind of knowing if it's going to be a full time or having to switch to part time. In terms of long term, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Obviously, you have a marriage coming up. I'm sure family will be in the picture at some point. But in terms, let's keep it to you know what? No, a little bit of both. You can feel free to mix it in, either career wise, life, personal wise, like career, family. What are you hoping for in the next 5 years if everything goes the way you want?
Hey, well, I mean, we'll see. They say that the average life of like a full time content creator is like 4 years or something. I think that was a ninja thing, maybe. But I don't know. Like, I'll just ride the wave for as long as possible. I also like the idea of being the like the agency, like the middleman. Like I've got to a decent, like I'd say I personally I think I've got to a decent like level on all the platforms, like to a decent viewership on all the platforms. I've got like subscribers on like every platform and stuff. Elite Ninja definitely got greedy. Look at him now, and his new branding is awful as well. But that's not the point. So I've got some like good experience of how to do things. I'm quite good analytically with like SEO and that sort of stuff. So I'd like to be able to help people. So if there are like a bunch of people like that want to try and give it a go, I'd like to be able to give advice and maybe at some point like be that middleman, be that agency, giving the advice and watching these creators grow. So that's a direction I'd like to go in. My best mate also owns a branding company that works with some of the really, really big boys. I'd like to potentially go and look at doing something with him, whether it's with the people he works with or doing some sort of salesy role with him maybe at some point, which would be quite cool. And then with regards to like, or just go back to work and then on like just a normal. I used to work in a consultancy,
Mhm.
so maybe just go back and do that, and then do YouTube more hardcore, but more part time, but like more than I used to, and focus more on the video content until it got to a point where the money coming in from that exceeded um, the company salary, and then go for it again and maybe give it another shot potentially. With regards to kids, I don't know. Laura's younger than me, so we're not kind of pushed for time because I'm getting on a bit, but she's not. So it's something we've spoken about, but we want to do a bunch of traveling and stuff first. So I think the traveling and seeing the world with her is the priority, and then potentially a baby Ricky at some point.
Yeah, we've got people talking now. Everyone's saying next year.
Yeah, no, I don't think it'll be next year, guys. I don't think we're getting married in August, and we've got like a couple of honeymoons planned, and then we're doing a bit of our own traveling, and then we'll see.
Sounds like a solid plan. Okay. And
You
what
do have a
is
question
your?
from.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say you do have a question from Elite in terms of questions.
If you
I've
had
written
to
them
play
all on
one
here.
game for content for a
Oh,
solid year, what would you play? No GTA for a solid year. Okay. I'd get my Oculus out and play Rec Room VR. I see that's got its own inbuilt economy.
Yeah.
Although it's a very like childish game, you can earn up to $500, £500 a month in game by selling like character created stuff. Like your character creates stuff and you can sell it to people if it's cool. And I think as a content creator, the my Rec Room stuff's actually I've already put a bunch of Rec Room stuff out there. It's on Facebook actually, and it actually did really well. So there's an audience for it. There's an unlimited amount of games you can play. Like the VR stuff's only getting better and better, and it's got that inbuilt economy. So if I could only play a game for the next year, I'd probably give that a go because you can earn money through videos and streams and stuff, but you can also earn money in game, and it will never get old because you've got loads of different stuff to play, and there's literally hundreds of thousands of different people to play with all the time.
I've never even heard of it.
Potentially that. It's just a VR game. It's very kid. It's very like childish, but probably that.
Nice. And back to the kind of GTA stuff.
Mhm.
What's your favourite type of character to RP as? So you mentioned that you like doing the criminal stuff. Is that your
Yeah,
favourite kind
100%.
of thing? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. 'Cause there's 100 different ways. Like you can as PD, like you can do as many chases or as many like pulling people over or store robberies as you want.
Mhm.
But eventually they'll become very similar. Whereas as the criminal, the power's kind of in your hands to make it different. So you can always do something different, whether it's like just taking the piss and robbing a store in the fastest possible stuff and just laughing, or getting some. A few weeks ago, we spent half an hour taking 9 hostages to a bank, and then we got away in dump trucks, like actual garbage trucks, and we made them paint them all different colors and stuff. And I really regret not recording it because it was very funny. But um, like the power's in your hands when it comes to criminal stuff, and you can kind of do what you want. So it's much more fun to do that.
makes sense. If you had to choose, I guess there's more of an advice for up and comers, or obviously, and a lot of people here look at wanting to become content creators. A lot of people want to start, and there's always that. Where do I start, or where do I, what do I do? We get those questions. What advice would you have to someone starting, um, to become a content creator? And then, if you could share what, in your opinion, are the negatives and positives about becoming a content creator?
Okay, so if I was starting fresh, I think actually, you know what, JR in chat is a really good example of this because we've had a lot of discussions about how he can like get how he can get people into his Twitch channel. And as soon as he stopped streaming every hour of the day, he started focusing on putting loads of TikToks out and getting a TikTok community running, and people actually watching his TikToks and then converting the TikToks to viewers on Twitch. I think he had like 30 viewers in his stream today playing Tarkov. And Jay won't mind me saying he used to sit on like 1 or 2 for a whole stream, and he would just grind out streaming thinking that was the way. But if I was starting up from fresh, I would stream less, and I would spend more time doing like focusing on the TikTok stuff. TikTok growth's unbelievable. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and Facebook Reels. Like do those 3 things because they're super easy to obtain and super easy to edit. I'd focus on those 3 and then convert them to Twitch. And Jay's a really good example of that actually working.
The more kind of shorter content to pull people in.
Exactly, yeah. So you literally just do like a whole bunch of TikToks, a whole bunch of 7-second TikToks. 7 seconds important because apparently that's the most likely to go viral or something. And do that short form stuff with a link back to your Twitch, or just replying to people in the comments and saying, "Yo, did you know I stream this on Twitch?" And they're going to come through because if somebody's bothered to comment on your stuff and you reply to them, they're more likely to then take action on whatever your reply is. So you say they're like, "Oh, sick video, yo, thanks for the comment. Come watch me do this stuff live on Twitch. Links in the bio." They're like 99% going to click on that link and they're going to follow you and they're going to be your next stream. So the more of those little like short form, super easy to get out pieces of content you can get out, the more you'll convert people to your live stream. Is exactly how I'd start now.
And do you think that once they've kind of come over, you found that you have quite a high turnover of repeated views, or have you kind of got a mix yourself of who comes back and who's new?
So I have a lot of people that come back every single day, and I'm super grateful for those people. But I also noticed that I get a lot of new viewers, but it's different because on NoPixel, I don't do a lot of short form stuff on NoPixel. You rely on like RPing with some of the other people. So, for example, the other day I was in a police chase and I got yeeted out of my car. It was a complete scuff, shouldn't have happened. Got yeeted out of my car, and the person that was streaming to like 5,000 people saw the clip of what happened, and then like a whole load of his chat came over to my chat, and some of them now come back every day as well. So it's a little different with the NoPixel community. Marius literally joins my chat every day and says he's new. It's an inside joke, proper weird. But yeah, it's a little bit different with the NoPixel stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'd say we every day we see new people, new followers, and people that literally say this is my first time here. Or like I saw you on TikTok, or I sometimes will get TikTok comments that say, "Oh, I saw you live on Twitch, and now I'm on your TikTok," which is weird because that's the opposite way on to how I said it would work, but it is what it is.
Okay. And one that was asked actually in both servers was, "Do you want an RP girlfriend?"
Yo, own up. Who asked that? Come on, somebody in chat, tell me who asked that. No, you know, I think it's weird. Like it happens. Obviously, it happens, and I am close. That I've got some female friends in Hodge. Thanks, Hodge. He's got one. It's Sassy. Sassy's my RP girlfriend. There we go. Answered. Yuki asked. So Yuki's the mechanic I mentioned earlier. Like me and her are close in game, but it's weird because she's got a fiance on the other end, and she lives in Australia, and I've got a fiance here, and I don't know. I could never work out whether it's like crossing the line. Like I don't know how Laura would feel about it. Like for me, like I can literally turn off RP and just be like, "Yo, like whatever, don't care." Like that's in the computer or whatever. But I don't know, like if it's going to affect her or like if whoever the girl was on the other end would be affected by it. Like I had a situation the other day where one of my boys who likes somebody in RP got really annoyed because I was talking to them, and it got to the point where in character he was that like sad and depressed. I had to DM him like and say, "Yo, are you like is this shit affecting you like in real life?" Because the last thing I want to do is have people like turn their game off and be like upset about the stuff that I'm getting up to in game. And it's like likewise for like if you had like a like I haven't got one, I probably wouldn't have one. But if you had an RP girlfriend and like as Seth as me as whoever, like you turn off the PC and you just cut off and you don't care about it, but then that other person's starting to develop feelings for somebody online, like it just feels a bit too, I don't know, a bit too weird. And because it's RP and everyone's like super in depth and like into the RP, you can never really tell without confirming with them, and then are they really going to admit it? And I don't know. I worry too much about feelings and stuff.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because I know it's a
Yeah.
conversation that me and Elite have had before, and I've said I express it as I'm not in a relationship with Elite. Like that's
Mhm.
just a character. That's not a real person.
Mhm.
You know, like Jack Sparrow and Johnny Depp, they're not the same people.
Yep.
And it's the same to me when it comes to your RP characters. It's not the person that you're having the relationship with.
Mhm.
But like you say, if the other person can't keep that separate, then you're gonna get in some tricky situations.
And like these film people are like it's their job and they're
Mhm.
almost like trained to be that way. Whereas
Yeah.
like, but at the end of the day, you don't know who you're talking to on the internet,
Mhm.
and yeah, if they struggle to detach from that RP world,
Yeah.
if RP is literally the whole life and they're having like the shittest life like outside of it for whatever reason, and they take the RP stuff super seriously, then there's potential there for them to like kind of catch those feelings that you wouldn't necessarily want them to. I don't know. So the answer is probably no. Yeah, unless for example I knew somebody outside of the game like
Mhm.
before they got in, and like we kind of were like, yeah, we're gonna make it so we look like this, and we know that neither party's gonna be bothered by it outside of the game, then maybe that way. But for somebody that I've never met before and met just in RP, I'd be too worried about their feelings and then like potential other part like the partner's feelings, because like so for example like the example in chat is me and Yuki, like if we had an in-game relationship, like Laura could be fine with it, but her fella could like absolutely hate it and it could be affecting him, and like the three of the four of us like don't care about it, but then the fourth one is really affected by it, and then that could cause her issues outside of the game, and I just wouldn't want to be involved in that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
No, that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, there he is. I can't see him. Where have you gone?
Ooh,
You Doc. I can't see you.
I'm right here.
You're not.
You don't see me?
There we are. I see you now.
I can see you. You're definitely here.
I got you.
Wait,
No,
what?
I haven't seen you for like 10 minutes, but anyway, yeah,
Oh, you know what? Probably because you have to like switch it back to like the grid mode and stuff once
got
someone joins. Like,
you.
so that's probably why.
Got you.
Yeah, no, I've been here. So recently, I believe about 3-4 days ago,
Mhm.
something happened on your stream. That
Mate,
was
that was
originally a
totally
stream.
weird, man.
It's
That's totally
originally a
weird.
stream.
I have never clicked on a stream. I don't really watch content. Like
Uh,
I watch Bailey Serrarian, who does murder mystery makeup. That's it. I don't watch anybody else. And I've never clicked on a link so fast in all my
Oh, you
life.
watched it as well?
Yeah, I
No
was
yeah,
there.
way.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure
That's class.
everybody was there. You had everyone there.
It was pretty wild, man. It was pretty
You
wild.
know, yeah, we talked about it. You obviously, it wasn't the intention. The intention was to do an actual stream, and
Mhm.
then things were brought up that kind of
Mhm, mhm.
turned it into that. Do you want to elaborate a little bit? I guess what actually happened, or what caused those things to start, or what caused you to
So
switch over?
I think the problem was that I was just doing some. I think I was just queuing up for UAM in Red Lion, and people were just talking in chat, and all of a sudden I got this kind of, it was a bit of a toxic vibe because something had happened elsewhere, in Ruby. And one of the Red Line boys had been like banned for a reason, um, and because my viewers are all like either Red Line fans or Red Line players, they knew the person, and it instantly became personal, and then somehow Toggle, the owner of Ruby, was either told or was watching or something, and he jumped in to chat and was like trying to defend himself. And then everybody in chat was like, "Yo, let him speak. Like, let's do it." So I was a little bit hesitant because I didn't want it to turn into like a war of everybody like slagging each other off. But
Yeah.
we got him and RJ, and who are I guess co-owners or top admins or whatever it is of Ruby, to put their position across. But I don't think they realized at the time that we had I say we, like I was sent a lot more information about what had actually happened. So I think they were. I felt kind of bad for them because they were a little bit blindsided with the stuff that I presented to them, and like, I never want to get people like kicked out. Like I've always said, one of my things about Redline, and it's not been so bad recently, but last year when I was starting to do well on YouTube, I'd noticed that people were just reporting random shit that I did that wasn't even like a problem, and I'd get pulled into admin sits for, and like it would literally they'd start with, this isn't really like you've not really done anything too bad, but we need to talk to you because we've said we will, kind of thing. And it's just like it's ridiculous, man. Why are you reporting
Mhm.
people for stupid shit? Because you never know like how bad like gaming could literally be the only thing that somebody's got. Like they
Right.
could have literally
Yeah.
the shittest life outside of gaming, and if they've plowed all of their time into a server like Redline, and then some little dickhead comes along with um just a pure motive to just try and get people into trouble, and the only thing you've got is Redline, and all of a sudden you don't have that anymore. Like, what's that kid going to do then? Like, they could be in a really bad way mentally. So I've never been the type to try and get somebody banned from anywhere. But yeah, I thought this was a bit this one was a little bit too weird to kind of forget about and just like let get swept under the rug. Um,
Right.
so it turns out that the outcome of the whole thing was that the two people so the one out of three people that were involved got banned instantly on the spot. One of the other people was one of Toggle's really good friends, and another one was I don't know how close they were, but it turns out that they've all been permabanned now for the actions that they took. And to be fair, some of the stuff was like, well, technically it was illegal in the US, so
Yeah. Very.
like it was bad. Like the stuff they were
Yeah.
doing was bad, and once it was raised on a stream with I don't know 120, 150 people watching or some shit, there's no way you can sweep that under the rug. Like you either take the hit and destroy the name of your server, or you get rid of the people that were involved, and they kind of were left with no choice, which I felt bad about, but something needed to be said about it, and I'm not one to not speak up when it's when either someone's being treated unfairly or when something like fucking awful's happened, and
Yeah.
and this was both of those things. So, is what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that
No.
night I literally got a message from somebody, and I'm not, until like yesterday in any RP server. And I got a message from somebody just looking for like, general advice and was like, hey, can you watch this video? I don't think it's right. And I was sent the recording. And then literally the next day you were talking about it on stream, and I was like, God, everybody's involved. Like which it should be. There's certain things that people needed calling out for, I think, to get kind of some sort of action.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
100%.
I agree. I
Yeah.
mean, I was in AVC because I was one of our members from our Discord, from the
Yeah.
podcast Discord, messaged me saying this
Same.
person is very frustrated,
Yeah.
and is very angry, and this is a person that is a friend, somebody I've RP'd with and stuff. So I
Mhm.
wanted to check in and make sure that they were good. So I reached out, got into VC. Obviously, just like you said, saw a lot of the stuff that was presented, and kind of saw a little bit of how they were being treated, and just like you said, the hiding it under the rug essentially is what it was. It was, hey, we ban this person, and it won't be talked about, it'll be done, and we'll move on from it, which is what it seemed like was the attempt was being made to do, because that person was banned for bringing it up. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, the way they brought it up, I get it. I understand, but at the same time, you have to understand how that person is feeling. And I guarantee anybody in that shoe, in the similar shoe, um, in that situation, would not think to care about
Mhm.
being in a server, because what it was, and I don't want to go into details of what it was, because once again, it is very illegal,
Yeah.
in the U.S. But it's something that should have been addressed right away, and it doesn't matter where it is. That's just common human, that's just humanity at that point. And to try to hide that under, and to have it come to a point, you could sit there and say, yeah, you feel bad, but it was brought upon themselves.
Yeah,
If
100%.
they let it get to a point where it was brought out into the public eyes, and everybody was curious to what happened, and obviously there's evidence and whatnot that supports it, and to have to get it to that point, you didn't have to necessarily. I mean, I would ban the person that obviously was involved in it, but in terms of other people getting banned into it after that, I mean, that's just because of not being able to simply come out and admit to take care of it internally,
Mhm.
to allow it to get to that external point.
Mhm.
So,
I mean, obviously like the people that haven't seen it won't really understand,
Yeah, we can
but
go into more detail with whatever you're comfortable saying. It's not a problem.
yeah, I mean, so basically, there was in another Discord server for another server, not Redline or NoPixel, another one. There were a couple of people that were openly DDoSing and taking people offline, whilst screen sharing in a public Discord with a bunch of kids in it. It was weird. But what actually struck me the most, like you guys all understand what I'm saying when I say this to you. Like if you've seen the video, have you both seen the video? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've seen what's happening, and you can see the people that are watching, that are actively in the same voice channel,
hmm
and it shocked me to see specific people in there that
Yeah.
could have done something about it as it was happening, and then like didn't see anything or didn't realize what was going on, and then all of a sudden, once it became a public thing with, like, as I said, like with my stream, then all of a sudden things are done, but like things should have been done like instantly. Like it should never have got to the point where the screen recordings were like sent to anybody or anything like that, because those people should have just been gone like in a heartbeat. So yeah, it was weird, but
I think you did make a really good point on it, though. You were saying about, if you want to allow younger children into the server, then it's your job to protect them in that
mm,
community. And I
yeah.
think, kind of it was very interesting to watch the way the stories were kind of changing as you were getting more and more evidence sent to you.
Mm,
Because it was kind of like, you can't deny anything now. I've got screenshots, I've got videos, I can see everything that's happened from all
yeah, yeah.
sides. So yeah, it was definitely
Yeah,
a juicy one to watch.
I did feel bad for RJ. So RJ's like the
Yeah.
commissioner PD, or like super high over there, and he had no idea what was going on. Like he
hmm
wasn't told beforehand. He joined this call. It was literally like RJ like left Redline like the week before I got into Redline. So me and him have never spoken before. We've had interactions like once or twice in different games, but in different servers. But it was the first time we actually spoke, and he was completely blindsided by it. Like he had no idea what was going on. He saw that I sent him the video. He saw the video afterwards, so he would have seen like what happened, who was there, what was seen, all that sort of stuff. And I imagine he's probably got his own thoughts about what should have been done, and it should
Yeah.
never have got to the point where it was like made public, or like it should never got to the point where like people were really annoyed about it. But you're right, like this the whole 13 plus. I don't know if I might have been one of the first people to suggest this. Like we've got a lot of young audiences. Like if you look at any of the big boys, like again, Elite's kind of big, I guess. If you look at anybody's stats on Redline GTA roleplay content, it's a lot of younger people now.
Yeah.
All these younger people are constantly asking how they can join, and they can't join until they're 16 and have all of this RP experience. And it used to be an hour requirement on Redline, but it's no longer that anymore, which is cool. I'm fully behind that.
Yeah.
But like they need somewhere to go to have an experience that isn't a team deathmatch or a drift server. So if you open up a community of like a load of people that invite like 13 plus or 13 to 16 in, and give them that opportunity to like learn how to RP, learn how to do it properly, learn the rules, and I almost have like a staging area for a bigger server, then your server's going to be active all day. It's going to be like super busy, and you're going to have a load of people that are really trying hard to kind of make a name for themselves or to make content, all that sort of stuff. So it can only really be a positive as long as you said, like it's monitored and these people are protected, because you can't have somebody sending like explicit pictures of themselves to kids that are under 18 in a server that allows like minors, which also was happening. So that's
Yeah.
no longer happening. Like that person's gone. Like that's completely been dealt with. But it's not like you have to be more vigilant with it. And if you're going to allow it, you have to back it all the way. And you can't have friends in that situation, because if your friends are doing the dickhead stuff, you can't sit and protect those guys whilst you're
No.
putting, I guess, minors at risk, kind of thing. Which isn't what was happening, but it was at a stage where like had nothing been done, like that would have been the case. But it's been dealt with, so it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you say, it's more than just kind of breaking an RP rule. It was
Yeah,
a lot more going on behind the scenes, wasn't there?
yeah, it was bad.
Yes. I think that's pretty much it for kind of that drama side of it.
Yeah.
I'm just double checking now. I don't think anybody asked questions during that. So we do have some more things about kind of like your opinions on stuff,
hmm
and your life, really, what's led you to here. So what is something that made you, I know you mentioned when you was younger, you first started playing video games. What was it that made you do that? Was it just kind of like the done thing at the time, or was there a certain game or friend?
Nah, I tell you what, when I was a kid, it was like right now, like if you're at school right now, everybody wants to be a content creator, and everybody thinks gaming's cool or whatever. Everybody wants to do that. But when I was a kid, gaming was a proper nerdy thing to do. Because
Mhm.
like I'm quite a bit older than a lot of the people in chat, so like I was just a nerd when I was a kid. And I think it was like my 6th birthday. I got born in '64, and I've still got the picture of me like holding it like it was some sort of trophy. And every now and again, I'll put it on Twitter, like when it's my birthday, and I'll be like, yeah, 30 years ago, whatever, this was 28, 20, whatever it was, years ago, this was me, and this was what started it all. So I think that, like, just having the N64, and not many people had one, like, that I knew. So it's just a cool thing to have. And that's what started me. I started playing Mario Kart and Super Mario and GoldenEye and stuff, and I just really got hooked by games, really.
Nice. If so obviously Griff, you have a lot of opinions on what servers, what things should change in servers, certain servers, right? Don't worry,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna have you call anyone out. This is actually the opposite of that. If you were to create, let's say, Griff's own server, Ricky's World, whatever, RP, what would you say would be like the ideal perfect server in terms of rules and well, yeah, pretty much rules essentially make to make the best server, or how would you go about making the best server?
I mean, this is literally just what would you change, but in a different
I
regard,
mean,
isn't it? That's literally
But
it.
not just about like one specific server though. Obviously, it's about like
yeah,
any server you've ever been in. What would be ideal for you?
So I really like the idea of I love the no pixel scripted stuff. So I love the hacking and the banks and the boosting and all that sort of stuff. I think that's really cool. Obviously, all the standard rules would apply, all the RDM, VDM, all that sort of stuff. From a, I would. It's gonna sound. I'm trying not to call it like fuck it. So I would have. I would absolutely enforce like a really active admin. Like, but like no pixel has admins on all day every day. They are
Yep.
so entwined with the RP, and they actually get involved and do stuff and whatever. So they're always there. They're always keeping an eye out for things and reporting and stuff, which is cool. So I would want that, so that if an issue happened in game, it can just be dealt with like there. Like
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of anything OOC. Like, so for example, like in No Pixel, if you buy a car, you sell a car from one person to another, you open your garage, your car's there, and there's no gray area. There's no room for somebody making a typo or somebody thinking you don't have that car because it's physically in your garage, like it's there. Whereas when you pull things into Discord and things, then that's there's room for error, and it's just a bit. I find it a bit dangerous, but also like OOC. So if your admin's watching you just in game and you fuck up, like, yeah, you deserve to be punished. But if somebody, like, I would absolutely blanket ban people going through other people's content and finding issues. Like, there's been examples where I've had people come to me from like streams that were like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it's like, are you joking? Like, this is old. Like that would be a blanket ban. Like, unless it's happening, unless you catch it happening, or like it's reported in game there and then, and it's dealt with, and that goes. What else would I do? I don't know. I think the scripting stuff. I also like the idea of menus. Like, I like the idea of my perfect server would be everybody does no pixel stuff. But obviously, it's Redline, put no pixel scripts in it, and give everybody something to grind for and build and that sort of stuff. But
Mhm.
then give the content boys, like obviously Elite, Lanip, Havoc, and Trey and those guys, give them the option to just spawn what they want in. So like, it would be cool to see the no pixel grind and scripts, but then obviously you don't want to take away from the content that the guys do already. So allow them to do their normal shit. So just more, I don't know, more give me more in depth and allow cool content to happen with a standard set of rules and no going through people's content afterwards would be my server.
Yeah, I think with that as well, like say if you've got real life issues with somebody, you kind of it opens you up to them just being really petty and going through
Yeah,
and finding something to get you in trouble for because they just don't like you.
I've had viewers that either have been banned from Redline or got rejected at the interview stage that will find me doing something and they'll clip it and be like, I've sent this in on the forums, or I'm going to report this to so and so, and it's just like, it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Like, you're just sad. You're just jealous that you're not playing the server. So why have you got to try and pull other people down with you? And it goes back to what I was saying before about like why try and pull people down where like Redline might be the only thing they've got, or a GTA server, like
Mhm.
that kind of thing. Just go with yourself.
There was some comments made on the podcast style stream you did last time. There was a lot of comments saying that Redline's player base is dying. Do you agree with that, or have you seen kind of a shift of people going to different servers? You can say I don't want to say that.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I literally we agreed that, like I'd be open about everything. Like, so I mean, it's not rocket science. Like, everyone can read. Like, when you pull up the number of people on Redline, when there's a, I think it speaks volumes when you're averaging like 20, 25, 30 players. But then as soon as there's an auction, you have a queue for the server, and it's like that isn't how an RP server should be. And then so I'm not trying to bash anybody, but like last year, um, the pandemic was blamed for a low player number, and then it was summer, so everyone was out, and then pandemic ended, and then everyone's out doing that, and then it's Christmas, and the numbers are still low. But literally, I've been on no pixel throughout the whole thing, and you've got 300 people in the server with a 290 person queue. So it's like, is it all of these reasons, or do we have to look at something internally that isn't working, or people are getting bored, or people are literally here for cars, and that, like, looking at the numbers for the auctions and stuff, that would potentially suggest that's the case. But I mean, for what I do and for what I need Redline to do, and I guess for like the other content boys, like as long as we have like a decent number and there are cops on and there is stuff to do, then it works. But like, I think from a more passive perspective, or somebody that just wants passive stuff, or somebody that's opening a dealership or something needs to be done to increase the numbers, because like they're only going to come on for a certain number of days to open Woodland or something, and nobody's going to turn up. Or like a great example from the other night. So who was it? It was Pasta. Pasta was doing like a Uber thing weeks ago in his Bentley. Nobody was doing it. He was trying so hard to get something like moving from a passive perspective, and just trying to just do something new. Like 2 or 3 nights ago, Trey comes on like Uber service, and fucking like instantly tons of people replied to him. It's just like, man, like you didn't say yes to Pasta like 3 weeks ago, so why are
Yeah.
20 people Trey right now? And yeah, it's one of them. But as I say, for me, it works, and for a lot of people, it works, and a lot of people are happy just coming on and getting their cars and sitting on their cars and stuff. But I do worry that from a like a PD perspective, or from a passive roleplay perspective, that the numbers are starting to like fall off. And there's a lot. Another reason that potentially is like a fault is because like this version 3 of Redline, or V3 or whatever, has been spoken about, but nobody wants to talk about it, because they think if they talk about it, then the players are going to go, "Oh, I'm not going to play now until V3." But I mean, the numbers are pretty low anyway. So if you were to say like, "Yo, the rules, like the normal rules, the no ID and VDM, all that sort of stuff, like stays, but everything else goes out the window." Like V3 is coming in July, it's not. But if it did,
Just an
V3 is
example.
coming. Yeah, V3 is coming here. Like, for the next 3 months, you guys can spawn. Here's the list of the cars and shit. Just go ham. Prove to us that you can RP. Prove to us that you can have fun, all that sort of stuff, and then wipe everybody's member ranks and stuff, and use the next 3 months of people actually being in the server, spawning in shit, spawning in props, like making actual scenes, as a means to promote people like early into V3. Because I mean,
Get them
I
excited
don't.
for it.
I think it'll be good, but the people that are currently in the server, in my opinion, are there either to be involved in the content or to do the car stuff. So like, that's going to stay like up until the day V3 drops. So they're going to stay anyway. So you're
Yeah.
not going to affect the player base. So just allow loads of people to do loads of stuff. Almost have the extreme perms, and just remove the member roles, and say, "Yo, come in and spawn your props. Come in and spawn these cars. Come in and do all this stuff." And see what you can do, and that will bring more people into the server than it will get rid of, 100%.
Give people that bit more
And
freedom.
yeah, and that would help with player numbers as well, I think. But that's just my opinion, I guess.
Well, it's
No,
coming from an educated place. It's not like it if I gave my opinion on it.
Yeah, just past your interview. Redline's dying. No, I mean,
no.
it's no secret that the numbers are low, and they have been low for a while. But from our perspective, like the content people, then we can still do our stuff. So I do
No,
worry for the passive side of things, but
and I see it too, and I definitely see it. In terms of passive side, it's the numbers aren't there because it's either people are doing the content themselves, and it's they're doing criminal, or they're doing some type of scene detective work, whatever it may be, to get the content side of it. That even though you may see 30, 40 people in the server, 28 to 35 of those people are already involved in a scene that they're doing for
Mhm.
content purposes. So the few remaining that are there because they want to just do RP are pretty much stuck with nothing coming up.
Mhm.
I think card meets never really work. I always see people advertise them, and you go there and you only see maybe about 5, 6 people at card meets, and they last for about 5 minutes
Yeah.
because no one shows up. So I
I
do see
mean,
that side of things. But like you said, as a content point of view, it works because all you need is 5, 6, 7 cops
mhm,
and 1, 2 people with you, or do it yourself, and you got
mhm.
yourself a team going, and you're good to go.
On that
Yeah.
note, Doc, as you have grown quite quick and kind of gone up and got your roles in there, have you found that people are kind of more interactive with you as you've gotten more known in the server? Like people are wanting to do the passive role play with you more, or have you not really seen a change in that?
I've gotten people messaging me. A lot of the people actually that became junior members this month wanted to be involved in more role plays because they did enjoy the role plays. I do think with the restriction in terms of like the criminal side, because obviously there is restriction there because you can only do it. If you have a junior card, you can only do it with 3 people. If you have a senior rank, you can only do it with 4 people. So you can't get everyone involved into your role plays, especially if because realistically the criminal side is what makes, especially Gramps. It's going to be criminal basis. You're not going to see Gramps doing PD work. It may start off as a passive role play. Gramps goes to a car meet, but there's going to be some type of shenanigans where cops are going to get involved, and it's going to turn into some type of chase, or it's going to turn into some type of mischief. So it's in your with that limitation of hey, I only can choose 2 3 people to come with me, and if it's 3, I need to make sure both people have junior members. Now obviously I did get my senior rank, so now I can go forward, but same thing, now that pool is even less because those people that I had junior memberships with, now if we want to go forward, can't come in and join in onto the senior side of things if there's are 4 people involved. So it does make it tough. In terms of it. So that's why I do try to get passive role play in first before I get into mischief, and then like for example with Ricky, we had one where it was me, Ricky, and Jimbo. Decided to we were at the racetrack. We did some passive RP with everyone, and then it was, hey, we're gonna us 3 are gonna get together. We're gonna go do some crime, um, and that was a hell of a day in terms of crime. I think we were trying to kidnap a cop for an hour before we finally gave up. So, but
Oh, I remember that. That was
yeah,
so bad.
yeah, that was a bad day in terms of RP where goes. But I mean, it was fun for us because it did make good content. Still, at the end of the day, it was, we had a scene where we're sitting at the
Life is
casino, literally
spicy.
2 feet away from these cops, while they don't know we're there, and they're literally doing, unfortunately, pretty dumb things in front of us in terms of like hitting each other and stuff like that. So it kind of looks bad, but it's funny because from a viewer standpoint, you're seeing like like the fun of it. But it's almost like a behind the scenes type thing or a blooper reel, almost as some would say. So, but yeah, no, I get it. I get what you're saying. It really is difficult to do passive RP in the sense because of your limitations in terms of the people that are in there doing content.
Mhm.
So I agree. I think there is more need. I just joined the interview team. Um, and I luckily, from what I've seen in interviews, I'm seeing people that want to come in for more passive. So I'm hoping that these people will stay that way because it will help passive. Um, but the fear is always going to be there because at the end of the day, a lot of people, at least 90% of people join because they've seen one of the top 4, the big 4 in terms of YouTube, and they want to be a part of that content. And so it's, and the thing is, the content's only there for 2 hours. The recordings usually happen for a couple hours a day. So the other remaining day, like hours, either they don't get on or, they're somewhere else. So it's a matter of getting them into the city. And if they want to be a part of the content for those couple hours, fine. That's fine. Get into the city, RP passive, do your RP throughout the day, and then try to get into the content scenes. But I think that there is opportunity there to definitely try to make better on that.
Mhm.
Just to say, we have
So,
just hit 300 subscribers. We had a few
Let's
then, but
thank
go.
you.
so thank you,
It's
everybody.
3. Yay, big 300.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Thank you everyone for the support.
I think it helped because I turned
yeah.
it to a subscriber-only chat and people wanted to ask questions.
Yeah, yeah. Kill those stupid naked XYZ bots, whatever they're called.
Oh yeah, you get a lot of those.
They used to come when we had the BDSM streamers when they just it seemed like it was
It
like
was
I was like, if you're
constant.
not gonna sponsor us, do not come into the chat. When you want a sponsorship, you go through the right channels. But sweet. The man Doc has just exposed us. Yes, Blaze, you've been exposed. Blaze was actually one of the cops that was there that day. Remember the door opening scene
Oh,
in the
what with
audience?
the blacked
In
out
the audience?
windows?
Yeah. He,
No, we can see
in his
you.
in
You're
his
the
defense,
passenger.
in his defense, after I talked to him, he was like, he was so confused and didn't know. He was the one that kept running back and forth and was like avoiding you because he did not have any answers for you, and he was like sitting there
Mate.
just getting orders and
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
yelled at through. So, but yeah, no, that was fun. That was fun.
I did enjoy that. I mean,
Yeah,
it was rough to try and take a cop hostage for hours, but yeah, I mean, it's fun.
Jimbo, that was crazy. But yeah.
Oh, I'm going to ask this now. I have added it on the bottom of the list, but he's not going to stop spanning it. Elite wants to know: would you eat Bob's pig or his cat?
I've not seen either.
I don't
Black
think I would
cat
eat
or a pig?
I mean, I'm a dog person. I've got Evie. I'm definitely a dog person. Which doesn't mean I'd eat the cat, but I really do like sausage and bacon. So like, unless Bob's cat's like riddled with some sort of like weird shit, which I imagine it is because it's Bob's, I'd probably
Well,
just eat the pig.
It's Elite's cat.
Yeah,
The
no,
pig is not. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd eat the pig. I'd eat Bob's pig. Just, I mean,
Yeah.
it could be riddled with all sorts if it's Bob's, but the pig because you can sausage and bacon in it over cat meat any day, I guess.
Yeah, it is a fat cat.
Nah, Jimbo, you pig's dead, mate. He's gone. Straight in my
Your
belly.
pig's
So
dead.
yeah. The raccoon's gonna come after the pig, mate. It's gonna be dead in a heartbeat. There you go.
Oh man, that's awesome. All right. So obviously, the big news in the GTA world. I mean, for any content creator, I think every content creator, at least, this is obviously asked a lot, but I think as a content creator or someone that's in it now, it's one of those we'll see when it happens type things.
Mhm.
GTA 6. Lots of speculation, lots of
December
rumors.
2024, man. It was leaked today, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was so officially was leaked that 2024 is the end of this 2024, so almost 2025 is when this is coming out. So you still have 3 years. So 2 years of 5M is still there, guaranteed. Obviously, there's rumors that Rockstar is going to not allow any type of. They're going to have their own RP. They're going to have their own thing, so they can continue making money on it. So from content creation side, that there's a lot of limitation that gets put onto that because when you have someone like Rockstar, putting restrictions on things, you have a lot of more loopholes to go through, or who knows what you're able to do, what you're not able to do, and especially for the people that are doing the extreme content or the extreme RP, because there's gonna be a huge impact to that. Um, Thoughts on our GTA 6 in terms of that? I mean, like I said, for
Has
me,
it
it's
been
always just
confirmed that they
I
won't
don't.
allow 5M kind of style stuff?
That's the rumor. So obviously everything with GTA 6 was rumors until this supposed leak, and the leak is still a rumor because a leak is like anything else. Could not be true. Rockstar might see it. They might try to push it forward.
Yep.
Rockstar might see it and push it back. You never know. So that December 2024 might be what their goal is. Sometimes, obviously, companies come up sooner. Sometimes it's later. So everything right now is rumors. But I guess people do obviously ask the question in terms of 6. For me, it's always we'll see what happens because right now there's really not enough information to kind of worry about or think about it. But
yeah, so I mean, recently XQC leaked that he'd played a copy of it, and that apparently RP features had been like added to the actual full game, which I thought was quite interesting. Like if they are adding that sort of stuff later down the line, if 5M is still a thing, then which I can't see it not being, because they're going to like the amount of people that will tune into will stumble across an XQC video, for example, and go, "Oh, what's this? This is GTA roleplay. I can only play this on the PC," which means I've got to buy a copy of GTA anyway just to be able to do this thing. So Rockstar still going to be selling their game now, unless they start putting microtransactions and stuff in, like they have in GTA Online, and then locking RP behind that sort of stuff. that'll be rough. That'll be rough for everybody because they're not going to be able to develop the stuff at the rate that the content creators are going to want them to. So that'll be tough. But because RP as its own genre sells so many copies of GTA, I don't know why, from a business perspective, they'd rather somebody go and spend, I don't know, 10 quid on GTA coins as opposed to 50 quid on an actual copy of the game. It it wouldn't make a lot of sense for them to do it. I mean, if they did it, it'd be rough. For like for our boys that want to be able to pull in their own stuff. But like, if you can only imagine it being like kind of a scripted based thing, like No Pixel. So like the
Right.
people that already play that sort of thing are already quite used to it. And if they took No Pixel and put it into GTA Online, then a lot of people that watch the big stuff would already be used to it, and it'd bring a huge amount of people into the RP audience and to the actual RP genre to play. So you'd have loads and more people to play with and stuff. So it's a good thing from that perspective, but it could be really bad for people that want the custom stuff. As I say, I can't see them doing it because they're selling millions of copies of GTA just so you can play 5M with it. So I don't know how a couple of microtransactions would like beat that.
Right.
I didn't know people still played GTA until I got with Elite, so I think bringing out GTA
Yeah.
6 will kind of like refresh people.
Mhm.
Because I mean, I played it on the PlayStation 2, but then just kind of didn't play it anymore. So I think it would bring back a lot of people to it, as well as bring a whole like next generation into it.
And it's
Well,
going
that's the
to
thing.
if they are gone up.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to say if they are going to put those RP features in that we're all completely used to,
Mhm.
and they're going to force the current GTA, not like the normal GTA and the GTA Online player base to get on board with all the RP stuff, then that can only do good things for like a GTA roleplay content creator because all of a sudden, all of these people that only cared about GTA Online or didn't even care about watching content are going to watch RP streamers. So it's going to be I think it'll be a good thing for from a numbers perspective for like the bigger RP creators.
No, and I agree. I was obviously Rockstar's made so much money on GTA 5. You know, the game's been out since what the PS4 first came out, which is almost back in 2000 what 14, 13 somewhere 2011, 12. It's been at least almost 10 years for this game to be out, and it's been a top seller almost every, top 5, top 10 seller almost every single year.
Big
So they make a lot
numbers.
of money on it, big money on it, and all they have to do
Mhm.
is just send up literally updates. So there's no physical copy to be made, none of this. It's all OTA updates that they just put into the game, and boom, they're done. So you throw in a couple of updates every year. You have a big summer update, a big winter update, and then you have couple small updates in between those, and you continue to make that game fresh. I mean, for a while, I think GTA 5 for a while, for almost 4 or 5 years, was retail full price. It was a literally a $60 game for 5 years straight, which is totally unheard of. Most games go to $20, $30 off within the fourth or fifth month because people are
Mhm.
done playing it. There's no replay value in it, and the biggest thing GTA did was the replay value, and RP obviously expanded that because it gave people more potential and
Why
unlocked a
is it
lot more into
spicy?
it. But I agree. I don't think that just like you said, if they becomes about shark cards for RP, it's gonna be it'll be one. They'll end up killing RP for GTA for the most part, in my opinion. I'm sure there'll be people that'll still do it, but it'll be killed. And I hope they don't because I really don't think that they would be that dumb.
Do you think that if they release GTA 6 with either a shit version of RP or completely blocked 5M, that GTA 5 RP would just continue and people just wouldn't care and they'd just continue to watch it?
Probably.
And
I mean,
I
theoretically,
think they
because
would.
what's the difference? I mean, it's not like you're playing
Why
GTA 5.
is
You
it
can play GTA 4,
spicy?
GTA 5 is just because it's newer graphics, newer
Mhm.
things. That's all it is. I mean, at the end of the day, the city doesn't matter. It's you're playing in a city. You're RPing. It's not like you're getting benefits. I mean, yeah, you get weapons and stuff like that. That's really the only benefit of it. But I think a lot of the weapons can be modified. All that stuff can be modified if they really wanted
Mhm.
to modify that version of the game. And I think if they do something like that to GTA 6, you'll see a lot more. Obviously, they're not going to have their focus and restrictions on GTA 5 as much. So a lot more developers are going to be able to get more into GTA 5 and crack it more to where they'll be
Mhm.
able to do whatever they want. You'll be seeing more realistic guns, more realistic, flying vehicles and stuff like that, because there will be no security or protection on GTA 5 because they'll kill it.
Mhm.
They'll kill the security on that because their focus will be GTA 6 at that point.
Mhm.
So if they're smart, I've always thought maybe they'd be smart and just have Rockstar maybe partner up with someone, like obviously 5M or someone like Rage, and make a partnership deal and sign a contract with them and have them develop the RP side of things.
Mhm.
So that way it continues that way, and maybe have them allow them to have servers that if people do want to make microtransactions, fine, go ahead and make microtransactions. Don't have fun because you have so much money. That's up to them. That's probably everyone's priority at that point, right? Or,
Mhm.
but leave the option for people that want to grind and earn or have actual RP be able to do that.
Yeah, agreed.
So,
Got no idea what any of this means, but if you say so, I'll just
don't
agree.
worry. By the time GTA 6 out, you'll be a pro, so it won't be mad. It won't matter.
Yeah, we'll see about that. With your channels, obviously, like you said, you kind of have got channels everywhere. What are your goals for your channels at the moment? Have you got kind of any subscriber numbers you're working towards, Griff? Anything that you're kind of focused on at the moment?
I mean, it's wild to think like that I could get there. I'd like to get my 100K plaque on YouTube, but that's probably like the goal at the minute.
Yeah.
Um, and the Twitch stuff's been going well. Like maybe a Twitch partner thing as well going on Twitch, and then stop streaming on YouTube and just do do YouTube videos and stream onto it. Potentially Twitch partner, but definitely the 100K button is something that I want to try and achieve.
I mean, that's quite close, really. Like
Uh,
you're not a million miles away. It's definitely doable.
I got past the first 1,000. I got the monetization stuff, which is probably the hardest bit to do, and
Yeah.
now it's just a consistency and like a snowball effect. And I'm not the best for consistency when it comes to videos, so it's something that I'm working with an editor to get working. And I
Mhm.
just need to. It goes back to what I said earlier. I need to stream less and do more offline stuff. So instead of streaming 10 hours a day, maybe I'll stream 7 and spend an hour recording and then a couple hours editing, or 2 hours recording and get the stuff over to an editor or something. I need to be more strict with what I'm doing, and then consistency, and maybe we'll see the snowball, maybe we won't.
With that, do you think that kind of being live and posting more frequently kind of reduces your numbers because people aren't so excited to see that you've posted something? Because it's like, oh yeah, you post every day, that's fine. As opposed to like, oh my god, this guy only posts once a month or once a week and he's released a video. Or do you think that kind of matters more once you're like in the millions?
I don't know. I mean, there are still people in the millions that post daily as
Mhm.
well. And I have no idea. I've never really thought about it, because I've not been consistent enough with my kind of uploads on YouTube. Then I don't have the option to just stop and then stream once a week instead,
Mhm.
or to upload once a week, and then people go, "Oh, there's only one video." I also think if you're consistently uploading and then you just stop, people are just going to go, "Oh, fuck this guy, I'm going to go somewhere else,"
Yeah.
because they're used to maybe getting like a Wednesday, Saturday, or whatever, that kind of scheduled video. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think with the streaming side of things, my ideal would be to do kind of an Alanip style thing and upload pretty much daily and then do one stream a week. But that's
Mhm.
not going to get me anywhere near the Twitch part I was just talking about. So I don't know. I'm still working on it. I'm still like right from the start. We're still trying to make a kind of a career out of it now. So once the dust settles with that and we know where we're at in a month or two, then we'll start looking at how best to take it forward.
So obviously, most streamers try to remain. They have a main platform, right? Obviously,
Mhm.
you've yourself have been through 3 platforms that you obviously Facebook was main. Now it's not as prioritized as main, but
Mhm.
still there. You've obviously have YouTube, that was originally your main,
Yep.
before the move to Facebook, and you have Twitch as well,
Yep.
which you've grown with No Pixel as well. So,
Mhm.
in terms of obviously being in all 3 platforms, what would you say are like the pros and cons of each platform? Since they are a little different from platform to platform.
So I was actually, I can't remember who tweeted it. One of the big boys tweeted it yesterday that Facebook Gaming's actually had more growth than YouTube has over the last maybe quarter or something like that. Now I don't know if that's because they have literally plowed money into buying a load of really big people, and now
Mhm.
their audiences are coming across, which kind of makes sense. But Facebook itself is a really weird platform to stream on. Like the whole setting up of a Facebook stream, it's just really clunky. It doesn't really work. the sharing stuff doesn't work properly. Like you can't gift subs to specific people. Like it just seems weird. And also their monetization stuff is not
Yeah.
good. Like they still owe me potentially, like personally, a ton of money because they messed up their payouts and they keep putting it off, and it's just a bit weird. So like that's probably a negative of Facebook. The positive is obviously that growth. Like there's a lot of people there. I've got videos on Facebook that have got like 6 million views, and like I've got like 2.5K followers or something on there. So like tiny channel but huge impression rate on Facebook. So if you get something that like hits well, like I've got one of the other guys that got partnered. His name's Thor. He used to do GTA roleplay, then moved over to Elden Ring. And he's got an Elden Ring clip that he put a bit of money behind, and it's got like just over quite a 500,000 views today. And that's pulling live people to his channel and stuff. So like the positive of Facebook is it's quite easy to get impressions and get eyes on your content, which is the exact like polar opposite of Twitch. Because when you start on Twitch, you are literally at the bottom of a page of
Mhm.
like hundreds of streamers. You stream to one person, you are like 300 rows down, and nobody gives a shit about you. Unless maybe you're drunk one night and you're with some friends and you're gonna, I'm gonna look at who's like they've got the lower viewers and go and make a difference to their lives and stuff, which I've done for like a fair few times. And we go and find people that we look for people that are streaming with like 1 or 2 viewers that have really cool overlays and have actually put effort into their setup, their lighting, their camera, their all that sort of stuff. Yeah, Elite, you're completely right. Definitely pay to win. And then we'll go and like gift subs and talk in the chat, and we'll take a Discord server over and we'll blow them up and like do that sort of stuff, which is a cool feeling. But then the next day when we're not doing that, they're still on like one viewer because Twitch isn't set up for discoverability, which is a real shame.
Yeah. Unless
But
you
then
make it in a hot
on
tub.
the, I mean, sure. I mean, it works. It's a strat,
Yeah.
and just on that point, there are so many people that talk about it and will like slag off these like attractive women that do this stuff, and like, yo, if there are that many like desperate blokes that are gonna sit and pay them $30 to write their name on their arm, and like, surely that's actually the bloke's fault for doing that. Like
Yeah.
the women are just like entrepreneurs at this point. Like they're smashing it. Like it's the weirdos' faults for watching this stuff and funding it. If there weren't loads of weirdos, they wouldn't have a platform to do it. So um, anyway, um, and then yeah, I suppose from Twitch, like it's super easy to go live on Twitch. Like I think that's probably the easiest thing to do, the easiest platform of all three of them. Because with YouTube, there's a lot of setup and titles and thumbnails and all that sort of stuff, and tags and things. Same on Facebook, but on Twitch, you literally just open a game, press go live, and instantly you're there, and you have access to the millions of people that watch Twitch. Not that they're going to find you because at the bottom of a page, but you can easily go live like straight away, which is cool.
It's kind of got more viewer interaction as well, hasn't it? Twitch. There's that more like loot drops and things you can do.
Yeah, there's a lot of options, and
Mm.
yeah, like the channel points. I find the channel points to be really good. All of
Yeah.
the big bots with the gambling and stuff are all already linked with Twitch, whereas you don't have it any. But there's like one third-party bot on Facebook that isn't really that good, and you still have to pay for it. Whereas there's a load of free resources and things to use for Twitch. And also when it comes to like stream elements, alerts, and that sort of stuff, you can plug in like all of your in-stream stuff, all of your subs, your donations, all that sort of stuff, any merch sales and things you can plug that into Twitch like super easy, whereas on other platforms you can't do that like as
Yeah.
easily. So it's just much more accessible for somebody that wants to just give it a shot.
I think that's
I
pretty
think
much it for
did I
kind
cover
of.
all the platforms? Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it
Yeah.
for
Cool.
like the kind of gamey style stuff. We've got a couple of simple quick fire questions, then we've got the ones that have been
Okay.
asked in the stream as well. So the first
Okay.
one is, what's your favourite song?
Oh, let me open Spotify real quick.
Most played.
I mean, most played is all Epidemic and stream stuff, so that doesn't even work at the minute. It's really bad. Let's have a look at I really like the Ed Sheeran Bad Habits with Bring Me the Horizon. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was
Nice.
really cool. And then what else have we got? I mean, this is all stream beats and stuff, so I'll probably stick with that one for now. I like that kind of pop rocky kind of vibe on that specific song. And I'm also an Ed Sheeran fan. We're going to see him next month, which would be cool.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, there's loads, man, but I don't know the names of them because they were like drum and bassy, like when I'm racing in NoPixel, I put like specific playlists on and stuff, and it's really cool. There's also a load of really cool artists in NoPixel that make music in game, and I like a lot of their stuff. But that sounds super nerdy. That I'm like a fan of the in-game made music, and nobody would know it in stream. So there's some really cool stuff in there. I'd stick with the Ed Sheeran, Bring Me the Horizon, I think, for now.
Pretty sure we know the answer to this, but dogs or cats?
Oh, dogs, 100%. Yeah.
What's your dream holiday?
Oh. So I don't know, like I really like the idea of the Maldives. I think that's cool. Laura's never been to New York, and I've been a couple of times, and I'd really like to take her to New York. So that'd be a dream. But I also was playing football 5 years ago and smashed my knee to pieces. Had to have it rebuilt, and I'd kill to go snowboarding again. So anywhere where there's snow. I mean, I can do the other two anytime. So ultimately, I'd love to go snowboarding in some cool mountains with some cool powder and actually be able to do it again. It's literally a dream, so it can't happen. So. Yeah.
Perfect home or house?
Perfect home. Super like minimalistic. Like we're talking like LA, like glass windows, black and white, that kind of vibe. Something in the LA hills, selling sunsets kind of stuff. Like that kind of vibe.
How many pairs of shoes do you actually have, and how much money do you think you've spent on them?
So the money's irrelevant because they're all they're my babies. Like right now in the house, probably I don't know, maybe 40 pairs right now. Money wise, like I'd say they probably average at like one. They probably average like realistically at probably 110 a pair. So whatever that is, maths wise. But a lot of the shoes that I own are still like boxed, and they are worth like a ton of money as well. So they are more. They were more of an investment than like I'm not wearing every single pair. I just keep like some really special cool ones in my collection in my current rotation.
If you could watch only one film for the rest of your life, what would
Wolf
it be
of Wall
and
Street.
why? It's nice.
Margot Robbie in it, so
Such a good movie.
And if you were on death row, what would be your death row meal?
Domino's pizza. I'd go for a meteor with no meatballs, tandoori chicken instead, and I'd switch to bacon for the ham, and I'd get a large garlic dip.
That's it. What about drink, pudding?
Probably go with Advanced GG because they are the stream sponsor. I don't know. I don't know. Just I'm gonna die on. I say just give me something that's gonna numb it. Just a bottle of JD or like just a bottle of like really good whiskey or some rum or something, and then put in. I'm not really a very sweet person. Like we ate a few hours ago, and just before we started this podcast, you guys watched me eat a bagel.
You make that sound weirder than it was. We just sat here and
we were
watched
literally
you.
there like, oh. Yeah, so like I'm more of a savoury kind of person, but if I had to pick a pudding, I don't know, like a chocolate fudge cake or something with some ice cream and like maybe some Ben and Jerry's ice cream, like a bit of fish food or chocolate fudge brownie or something like that.
Nice. I'm on to the ones that were asked whilst live, so there is some weird questions in here.
I'm not surprised.
This one was by Margus.
Margus, yeah, I know him. Yeah.
If Griff, Griff would get a Pornhub offer to make 10K a video, but you had to make 5+ videos a month, would you take it?
I mean, I know Margus has gone to bed now, and I'm assuming that I can choose the content. 10K a month for 5 videos, so 2K a video.
50K. No, 10K a vid, but you have to make 5+ vids a month, so you're making 50K a month.
Hang on, so
to
confirm,
making like
right?
100 vids a month.
I mean, you can make 10. You have to make at least 5. So you could do 30, one a day if you really wanted to, and if you had the stamina to go through all that. But I mean, you're talking about
paid how much per video?
10K a vid. So 10K if you do 5
ridiculous.
minimum. The minimum is 5 a month, so that's 50K a month.
Yeah, no, I obviously take that 1,000%.
Now keep in mind, you have a marriage coming in August. Would you still do it? How would she feel about it?
I have to go and bang up different people. Like obviously, like
to be on your own with Laura.
Yeah, Laura would be she'd be
Co-host.
like for that
Oh,
money
so
she'd be on
I
board.
see what you're already thinking about the money, huh? So that's 20K of it is what you're thinking.
Oh mate,
So you get 10K for her.
even if it's
10K for
even if
her,
it's only
5K
10K
for
video,
her.
like Laura never has to work again. So as long as it's me and her, then yeah, 100% take it. If it turned into like doing it with other people and stuff, I'd rather just take the money I get now and like sack that contract off. But if it's me and her making videos for 10K a video, that's literally no brainer, man.
I'm sure if you go to the link in the bio, there's probably so many people that will take that offer up. It just won't be through Pornhub, but yeah.
Literally.
James asked, "What do you think you'd be doing now if you weren't a content creator?"
I'd still be working in London doing consultancy stuff.
Some random guy named Detective Elite Prime asked, have you heard of Banana Duck? And what are your thoughts on it?
I saw that question a few times. I have no idea what it is.
He's a bit spammy. I don't know who this elite kid is, but
just ban him. He seems like a
Mark, can you do your job, please? Can you time him out next time?
This kid's a Redline fanboy. Get rid of him.
Yeah, he's here for the clout, clearly.
Literally.
Go ahead.
Can you ask Griff why he keeps lying that he's 6'5"?
Okay,
This
cool.
is Margin.
I'm 5'1", really. I've got literally. So I've been speaking about it like recently a lot, and then I pulled up some photos from TwitchCon on stream like the other day of me with Nade Shot Valkyrie and Mia Malkova. Doc's trying to keep straight face there. I can see.
I'm reading the questions being added. I'm just like, what the hell?
I'm watching you, boy. And then like obviously I'm massively taller than all of them, and they were like, "Oh my god, you really are tall." So I don't know why he's talking about this shit, but now I'm 5'1". Like fuck it, I'm 6'5" really. Like all the adults believe that I'm 6'5". Margis is like is far too mature to believe anything like that. Basically, if you're taller than Margis at like 5'10" or whatever he is, he doesn't believe you. So that's the thing. But yeah, I'm a big boy.
Nice. Have you ever wanted to join PGN?
I got invited. I'm in PGN.
Oh, you are in PGN?
I've played it a couple times. I've put like maybe 3 hours into it or something. I didn't really understand it. There's a lot of I don't know. I know they've changed a lot of stuff. Like I didn't really know anybody. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't really read the rules. So I was like, I'm probably just going to banned instantly. And I just thought it was a bit like it's something that I don't know. I don't have time to get into any other RP servers really. So I can't really give it the time. Literally. So I am in there, but I know that Elite doesn't like. Yeah, there you go. There's the puke.
Yeah, he did delete the comment.
Yeah,
as soon as it came through, he deleted it. I thought, why are you deleting it? I've not asked.
Let's move on.
If you were forced to sacrifice one server completely, which one would you choose and why?
Ruby in a heartbeat.
That was guessed already in the comments as well.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? Because like the reason I got the Facebook offer and the reason I had the opportunity to do it is because like I was pushed on Redline and like I had some good support from some good people, including the friggin' spam bot himself. And the viewers were there because I was streaming Redline, so I'd be silly to get rid of the server that kind of made the channel. And then I spent like 8-10 hours a day on NoPixel, so why would I get rid of that? So yeah, easy question.
I'm not gonna ask the. Apparently, there's a pencil boy remark in here, but I'm not gonna ask that.
Apparently, it's because I'm so tall and thin, and now he calls me pencil boy. That is weird.
Okay. Dream car.
McLaren 720S.
Okay.
Do you like anime? If so, what's your favorite?
No, I mean Pokemon is technically an anime, so Pokemon. But I haven't watched anything like any animes. Anime is one of those things that's like it's really popular on Twitter and amongst like gamers and stuff. And I don't know whether people actually. I don't know. There's one on Netflix. I can't remember what it's called. Love, Death, and War, or Love, Death, and something. Or that's pretty cool. Like I really enjoyed that. I think that's an anime. But outside of that, no, I'm not really one to try and pretend that I like it. But I haven't really given it the chance to watch anything that's kind of new and noteworthy. So I don't really have an opinion on it so much.
So this is the question that had me staring when you asked me. If
I'm so glad it worked out that you've got to ask it as well.
So, and you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. but I'm gonna ask it because I'm just me, and
It
you
was
know I'm
asked
gonna
over and over and
I give no
over.
fuck.
No,
But
really, I haven't
your
seen it. I've been
favorite.
watching.
So let's say you do decide to go with your movies, right? Your
Oh yeah,
10K
yeah.
event. Your favorite position.
Oh man, that's really difficult, man.
Johnny really is dying to know this. I don't know
He
what
wants
his
to know what your
obsession
favorite
is.
position is.
I mean, it's a difficult one. I've literally I have no idea. Like, I'm not like everyone. Like, typically everyone's like, "Oh yeah, doggy straight away," but I mean, I'm not. There's quite the height difference between me and Laura. Like, it's a little bit like you have to really put effort into it. So
So you're
I
gonna
don't know.
say
Just
cowgirl, cowboy, drunk,
yeah, probably
cowgirl,
yeah.
just
I
so you
think
don't have to
so.
do any work.
I mean, you still put the effort in, but it's just less so than the other way, you know. So especially if you're having to do it like fucking 5 times a week for some video that Maris wants you to do, and
Surely you'd be doing it more than 5 times a week anyway.
I mean, we're only talking about the videos, weren't we? And
You just said if I have to do it 5 times a week.
yo, I'm just saying, like we're talking about. I was just looking back to the contract.
It was
Yeah.
first of all, it was 5 times a month, but yeah, you could go a week.
Oh,
That's fine. That's
it was
25
5 times a month. It was only 5 times a month.
5 vids a month.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 5 times a week, man. Like,
No,
I was
5 vids a
down for.
month.
Oh yeah, I mean that's boring. Like fucking, let's crank that up, like whatever. So yeah, I
And then
mean,
go on, carry on.
no, I think that's enough of an answer, really.
Nat S wants to know who the best person in Redline is, and they said, "I know it's going to be me, but anyway."
No, Sassy.
Ooh.
Come at me. Try and kill Ricky. You can't.
Oh. Nat ass also asked, why would you be a part of it? Which
I
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
sure.
I got invited to it, so I just thought I'd. Like, I mean, it's always good to have options, and there's some big people on there, and I've seen some cool content from them. So why not just be a part of it? I don't have a problem with like the people, or I don't know any of the history, so it doesn't really affect me. So as long as I'm not hurting anybody or like making anybody sad, then it doesn't matter.
Sweet. And then Johnny has added a question.
Go on.
Do you think Pornhubs will get shorts?
I don't see the point. What I mean, it would
Reviews
have
to
to be
buy premium.
potentially.
New marketing strategy. You heard it here. Pornhub contact us.
I think so. You know, like a third. Then again, I don't know.
It's like a preview video, essentially.
The premium stuff gets Pornhub shorts, and then you get like a 20-second clip of what the actual video has got. But then would it be one of those really annoying ones where it's like quick cut after quick cut, and you can't really like
a compilation?
Yeah, it's one.
Is it one of those, or is it like 20
it's a
seconds
compilation
of the
that
video?
like. No, I think it would do a compilation, so it pisses you off to where you're like, I want to know what happened in between all that.
Potentially.
And now you want to buy it. So when Pornhub, when you decide to do this, make sure you give us credit because this was a marketing strategy made here on Sweet and Spicy.
100%.
Paychecks can be made payable too.
I was talking about this with my friend Lola, who guest starred on the show, and she is like obsessed with compilation. I don't mean she's like a porn addict, but the porn she does like is compilation porn. So if you were watching shorts, would it not kind of be like scrolling through TikTok that you'd kind of be making your own compilation stuff?
Actually, that's a very good point. If every short was a compilation, you would just have never-ending compilations, and then your friend would be sorted.
You'd never see her. She's not coming to visit anymore if that becomes a thing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, Johnny, it wasn't you, mate. It was the three of us. We came up with it. You didn't.
Yeah, you just asked the question. We came up with the solution.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Do you remember how you met Sassy?
No idea.
Ooh.
Can't remember. Does Sassy remember that? I can't like where.
Yeah.
Would it have been a
This
PD
question's
thing?
been reversed, Mr. Sassy. He's asking, do you remember?
How was it, man? Give me a clue. I'll try and remember. I only swiped the front page and watched the short vid of every film. Marius, come on, man. Yeah, exactly. Sassy doesn't remember either.
Thought it was going to get called out there. Thought he was in trouble.
So you could have said whatever, and he would have had to believe it.
Yeah, or he could have made something up, and I'd have gone, "Oh yeah, that was it," and then he'd been like, "Yeah, I lied about that," and then I'd have looked like a complete idiot. So, yeah. Do I remember meeting Elite? You know what? The only person I actually remember meeting was like for the first time was Toggle, because he like randomly came up to me, and then all of his chat jumped into my chat and was like, "Hey, you're gonna die, you're gonna die," And then he gave me a car and 100k and just said, off you go. And then it was apparently he kills everybody that's new to the server or some shit. And everyone was really surprised that he just gave me money in a car and then ditched me. So that was it. I don't remember the first time I met Elite. I remember the first time I got hit by a ramp car in Red Line. And like I literally pray every day for the ramp cars to come back because those TikTok views were spicy as fuck. But yeah, I can't remember the first time we met Elite. No, I remember the first ride along we did, but that wasn't the first time we met, I don't think. I literally recorded that as a video on YouTube.
Ram cars are back. There was ram car yesterday.
No, I missed it. Fuck. Damn it. Elite, message me when there's ramp cars, please, because that's the content I literally live for.
And then is Margus the best mod alive?
No, he's dog shit.
Right. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Where did
Sorry, Margus.
Where did you and Laura meet?
At one of my old jobs. It was really weird actually, because like is anyone? Do you want the story?
Yeah.
The short.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Like I just come out of a really long serious relationship. I just wasn't even interested in like a relationship of any description. And then this cute girl started at. Mate, I've got rid of the media pings. Give me the roll back and I'll come back on. Yeah, so this cute girl started work and all the lads were fighting over her. So that competitive nature came back out in me, and then I was just always going to win. So one day I'm randomly walking like through the hall to the reception where she was, and I had some tickets to go to Thorpe Park, like the theme park, like obviously you know Thorpe Park, and I just randomly turned to her and said, "Yo, you fancy going to Thorpe Park?" as like a first date. Like I'd never really spoken to her properly, but then I was just like, "Yo, fuck it, we're gonna drive like 3 hours to a theme park, spend the day together on bonfire night, go to a firework thing, and then drive 3 hours back." And it was kind of make or break. So if it didn't work or if it was awkward, it'd be really like weird in the car. Like, and the whole day would have just been.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it turned out it wasn't weird or awkward and stuff, and we had a good time. And then yeah, like all the lads at work lost, and like 7 years later, like, I'm marrying the girl. So.
Sounds like a
I mean,
movie.
it worked out
Starts
okay,
with
man.
Starts with the competition of who's gonna score this chick first, and then next thing you know.
Yeah,
It'll
it's
be
pretty
on
cool,
Netflix before you know it.
Yeah.
Yes, sign me up Netflix. Let's go.
That's pretty much it for the pre-asked questions. And chat's kind of, I think.
Sassy wants to know your Subway order.
Oh, my Subway order: chicken pizziola with lettuce and barbecue sauce on Italian herbs and cheese. If you could order me one, Sass, that'd be great.
Are they even open right now?
Don't know. Probably. There's got to be some really late night ones. Oh, this is really late night actually in the UK, so maybe not.
Yeah, I don't think they're open. We do have some new stuff coming to the next, maybe the one after podcast. We've got stream loops being added. So it'll allow you guys, the viewers, to kind of control a bit more what's being asked and what's going on through like cards you can play in chat. Yeah, that'll be fun for you guys, but we'll drop more information as we get it. And do you want to announce who we've got next week?
I will. But before that, I don't know if you guys have seen it. We've posted a link to Acast. The podcast is officially now on Spotify.
No way.
It is on TuneIn. I believe Apple is in the works as well.
Apple.
So it's going to
Apple,
be
Google,
is
Audible, Spotify, everywhere. Everywhere you can
it's
listen,
everywhere.
it's there.
Everywhere, and people are already starting to listen to it, so it's already getting attention. Congratulations, Lauren. Yours is getting more attention than Elite's right now. So people are listening to yours right now more than anything.
No way.
There's only 2 episodes on there right now, so obviously you guys can see the episodes here of the people that were on here. But every week there will be one release. So if you want to hear it while you're driving, or you want to go visit them. At any point that will be there, and that's just straight audio. There is no video, obviously, to those. So those are available. So share them with your friends, pass them on, get them in here. Because remember, 1,000. Once we get to 1,000, we're giving away a whole pretty much podcast setup. We're giving you a mic and a webcam, right? Is that what we're doing? Webcam and a mic.
Mic, webcam, and arm. One of these.
And the arm, yeah. The boom mics, yeah. The boom arms. With a black, it's a Blue Yeti blackout mic, so a nice, decent mic, as well as a webcam with it. So you guys that want to start streaming, look at that. We'll get you your streaming equipment right away off the bat. So get it out there. And then next week, this is a very requested I'm gonna say duo. This is not a single person. We will have two people on next week. They are a couple. One of them is a musician.
Yes.
So everyone knows it. It's she became a huge hit with Frenchie's mom.
hmm
That was a big one. Our next week will be Haley and Joey.
love
Will be
that.
joining us. So make sure if you guys aren't on the Discord, make sure you guys are onto the Discord. Make sure you put your questions, start doing them now, because it will close out next Sunday. Usually around the same time as always, around 6 p.m. BST or um, maybe sometimes later. But get your questions in there so that you were the first one to answer it, and that way you're not sitting there like I don't know what to ask because someone else already asked your question. Who knows? Maybe she'll sing for us. She'll have a music for us. Maybe who knows? We don't know, right?
Oh, a new
There could be
song
anything.
release.
Oh, maybe. Who knows?
Ooh.
And we are still
But
working on the pub quiz one, so we do need to ask Griff, would you be willing to come
oh yeah,
back and be part of a team to do a pub quiz style podcast?
Sure.
Do
it
need to let
may
you
end up
know.
being Zal versus
Yeah.
everyone because obviously we know Zal himself is a robot when it comes to quizzes. So unless it's pop culture, then he'll be destroyed. But everything
How are
else,
you going to stop people just sitting and googling the questions while they're like looking at the camera like googling it?
Yeah, we'll know. Okay, first of all, we all know
Okay, Griff is
Lauren
not
can't type
invited anymore.
anyway.
Got to keep your hands up at all
Everyone's
times.
got to sit like
Like,
this.
hands have to be like in view like all times.
Well, no, it's gonna be different. Well, yeah, because Lauren's gonna cheat because obviously she won't come on cam. So we all know Lauren's gonna find a way to cheat.
Yeah, I could have her on video call, like
There
off
you
the
go.
screen,
Have her
so
on video
I can
call and be
watch
like,
her.
"Where's your phone?" Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Wow.
We're gonna have to have moderators. Admin, any moderators available? No power gaming guys. No metagaming. So sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Thank you, Griff, for coming on. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Absolutely.
And
Thanks for
getting
having me.
to know you, man. Of course, of course. Do make sure you guys go ahead and go over to Griff's Twitch, his YouTube. They're all linked in here. Go make sure you join his Discord as well if you're not already in it. I know a lot of you guys are in it, obviously, because that's why you're here. But if you're not, make sure you do go visit and join. It's a great community. I've been in there for a little over a couple weeks now, but always a great community. Definitely check out the YouTube. A lot of Redline content. Check out the Twitch for the no pixel content. So, and if you haven't already, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment here. Comment who you guys want to see on the podcast so we can reach out. Just make sure they're 18. We've been getting a lot of comments for people that are not 18, and unfortunately, because of the stuff that is said on the podcast, we can't get anyone less than 18. So, just for legality preferences, we have to kind of make sure we follow that. Even though there are people out there that I think would be great, unfortunately, age
We gotta
is
wait.
yeah, we gotta just wait. So yeah, definitely guys, check out the Discord. Make sure you're on the Discord if you aren't there, so you can ask your questions. But we'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Mijo, be humble. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble.
Go away in headphones. I am terribly sorry.
Mijo. What?
Mijo. Mijo, be humble. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble.
Go away in headphones. I am terribly sorry.
Mijo. What?
Mijo.